Okay, I'm going to see if I can get my hands to behave. This is a different kind of weave than a lot of people are used to whenever you're putting together your structure or your gather weave. Art Deco would be the best way to say it. Kind of that address of that architectural style. Instead of actually going straight up and down, you're getting a slight bend, even though all the wires gather at the bottom smoothly. If the camera will focus, that would be great. There we go. Now, to actually pull that off, there's two things you're going to do here that are different than you would do normally whenever you are putting these together. You will not squish them down flat, because that actually will kind of straighten them out. So you're never going to take your pliers to this and squish them down. And two, when you are actually building your structure, I'm putting 6 weave between each one, but I already did it here because I'm just going to show you the first steps or so. You are, I don't know if my hands are going to behave. I can do the work, but I don't know if I can do it where you can see it. I'm going in, pulling in tight against this here. 1, 2. Now here's where you do something a little different. I'm going to go in a third time, but I'm only going around that top wire. First of all, that's going to pull it together and lock it into place. It also creates a gap, a physical barrier between my next weave. Every time I go in and do this with a camera, I swear, it doesn't behave. This never happens. Anyway, yes, I know what that sounds like. This never happens. Anyway, so I'm going to come in and do my next one, pull this over where it lines up with the bottom of that one. So your weave is actually at a slight angle. It's being held out by that single stitch. 2. Line up at the top, line up at the bottom. Same thing, single stitch around the third wire at the top. That locks it in. Again. And you're getting that kind of, I think of it like a spray of feathers. Remember, again, those architectural details that you would see on an Art Deco building. The only ones you don't do this to, because they're getting locked in by the singles on each side, is your middle barrier. You just go around, lock that down. Again, try and do it to where it, doesn't look like complete crap, but every time I'm on camera, I forget how to do my job. I can live with that, because what I'm about to do, again, I'm reversing it now. So, get over that. I'm doing the single stitch first. Pulled in. See? So that's why I wasn't too worried about those looking seriously splayed out, because I knew the minute I put that single stitch in, they would behave. And then I'm going to reverse it. Again, I'm going straight back down one side, pulling it in tight against that single stitch and the bottom. And that gives me that angle. And then you just repeat. I'm going to finish out this last one. So now I'm going up here, I'm putting in a single stitch around that second to top wire. My wire is trying to tangle over here off camera, which is great. Always conducive to quick, clean work. Probably because I have my coffee cup right there, but I can still finish this. And then I'm going to go here. See how they're kind of, again, they're stacking against each other at a slight angle. There's a slight gap there. And that is what makes it have that unique kind of textured look to it. And then, yeah, once I'm here, so they're all lining up, I'm gonna just start doing my next six weave, and that creates my gap that I want between this one and the next. That's all. Yeah, relatively easy. You don't have to try and squish it down, get it super even, and it ends up looking really cool. yeah, there it is next to the others.